Welcome, welcome, welcome to another What's Up Wednesday. This is episode 139. 139 weeks of bringing you content to help you be a better RVer, whether you're no time, still researching, part-time, taking cool trips of days, weeks, or months. And I've met so many of you doing that. And even a few of you are crazy full-time travelers like myself. And we just had Tin Can Carl on last night. He's in a Travato 59G. Last Wednesday, I should say, sharing his story. What we do here is just we learn together, we share together. You decide what's the best way for you to roll in your compact RV. My name is Scott. Thanks for joining us tonight. See a lot of regulars in here, and welcome to my YouTube channel, Go Small, Live Large, all about the compact camper van RV traveling experience. Do I have a whopper of a show for you? I have no guests, and I'm like solo. I'm like, well, a little out of sorts a bit. I'm going to kind of run through the show for you tonight. And just thanks so much for joining us. I see a lot of regulars. We're going to say hi to most of you tonight. This is so great. So it's kind of Ask Me Anything. So next month, October 2023, marks 5 years of owning this van. And I can't tell you how this van has changed my life and how you have, each of you, helped me change my life. So I did a poll today. Let me share those results because I'm really eager to help people get their journey on. So the question on the poll today, and I'm going to actually answer these questions in addition to the live here in the chat. What is one question you would like answered by a fifth-year full-time van traveler? That would be me. How do I make money traveling full-time in an RV? How concerned should I be about safety or breakdowns? How do I choose the best camper van for me? How do I reduce stress, travel decision fatigue? And then how do I start van life either part-time or full-time? Awesome questions. I'm a little surprised by the answers, I have to admit, but I'm going to try and address each of these tonight specifically. But it's really all about your questions. I have one fly that just decided to join us tonight. This is so awesome. But anything's on the table tonight. Quite serious about that. Don't be shy. There's not much I haven't done or seen over these nearly 5 years of full-time travel. It's going to be 5 years in February next year, which is just running up on us faster than we can even talk about. I want to remind everybody of a couple of really big announcements. So we got the Roundup. This is where we get together for a meet and greet for about an hour or so. This is in Bardstown, Kentucky on Sunday. Let me zoom in here for you so you can see this. Sunday, September 17. It's at 3 p.m. They close at 5, I think it was. So once we get there, we're going to make a selection of which has the most tickets available for the last tour. And if you want to join me for that, I'm taking a tour of this. I've actually been here and bottled 2 bottles of Larceny bourbon at this very same spot. So I'm really excited to share that with you. Speaking of bourbon, Libation Live tonight, you're going to choose which of these bottles, which are right behind me, whoops, this way. There we go. Right there. So we're going to let you choose for me what I'm going to have for Libation Live. I'll show this in a few minutes. I've been doing a lot of bourbon stuff because I'm going to Bourbon Festival in Kentucky in a couple weeks, and I am so fired up. And we got super chats in here already. Thank you. In fact, let's hold on there, Matt. But I'm really excited about this. And I have a huge bourbon. What's the right word? I have too much bourbon because I broke my cabinet. So we'll talk about that tonight. This day in history is coming up. Princess Diana was in the headlines this time, sometime back. And then our song of the week is by George Michael. How many of you sing along with George Michael? Careless Whisper, right? And then this is the format we love for you to use if you can, which is 3 stars, 3 question marks. And then you fire off that question for me, and that helps me find it using this format. And if you're doing super chats like Matt is doing right here, that means we get to jingle the jar. And then you get your question elevated. And thank you, Matt, for your generous support, because it goes right to the Libation Live generally. And Matt wants to know, so pick any... So just press the $ if you want to give it a tip. Sure do appreciate that. I do this full time for a living, help you be a better RVer. So every dollar matters, every dollar counts. And press the $ to see what your options are. So let's answer Matt's question right here. Why do we name our vans? Because they're part of the family. You wouldn't have a kid with no name, would you? How about a dog with no name? Now, there's a song about a horse with no name, but I don't know, my family's always named our vehicles. And I think it's really about, so that's tradition number one for me. And I think it just becomes part of your family. If you're not taking selfies and vansies, photos, and post them on Facebook and social media and stuff like that, they're just part of your family. So I think part of your family needs a name. I could be completely wrong. I don't know. Thank you, Matt, for that. Appreciate the tip there, sir. And speaking of that, when we get a tip, we jingle the jar, and that just lets you give a special shout out to you for your help there. And then if you're, whoa, that's not what we needed. Please hold. There we go. Jeez Louise. And if you're playing the jingle jar game, that means this is courtesy of Roads of Life. Then you will need to drink. My glass is empty so far, but I'm eager to get that filled up with Libation Live. So thank you, Matt, for your generous tip there. And how do I get this off? Right there. There we go. It's been a busy, crazy week as always. All right, what else we got on the tip? So let us know where you're watching from tonight or on the replay. And again, a huge shout out. Thanks for everybody making time on a Wednesday evening or afternoon. Or wherever you are in the world. This truly is a worldwide sensation. What's Up Wednesday, seen on most continents on the planet Earth. And if you don't see your country's flag on here, please shout it out in caps, large and clear, and I'll be sure to get your country on the map next week. Where am I coming at you from? I'm coming at you from Rockford, Illinois. It's a little warm here today. I don't have the AC running because it's been super cool. So Rockford, Illinois, this is my van. I'm at a Harvest Host. Let me zoom in here for you. That's my van. Her name is Miss Lily. She just turned 118,000 miles, actually. There's my new bike on the back, and I get my new adventure storage box on the back tomorrow morning. I'm super pumped. Got videos coming up about all of that. And if you're not familiar with Rockford, it is about 90 minutes due west of downtown Chicago. Why Rockford? Well, because this is where my home dealer is, the Franklin family, Mick Franklin of Winnebago Motor Homes. They're located in Rockford, Illinois. They're in Winnebago County, and that's kind of why it's called Winnebago Motor Homes. It has nothing to do with the brand particularly. It's a great story. If you're looking for a van, they got some vans to sell, and if you're looking for service for your vans, you really are going to be hard-pressed to find somebody's going to take care of you better. They actually fixed my awning, which has not been working for some months, and fixed my broken cabinet from too much bourbon. I figured 80 pounds of bourbon in my cabinet over my bed. Wait till you see the video. OMG. Anyway, hey, if you're looking for a 59 GL Travato, he's got one on the floor, and he is hot to trot to get that in somebody's hands. So give him a shout. So that's where that is. Here's the weather. Holy cow. It's cooling down a little bit up north. I'm super happy to say it was 90 yesterday, and it's really going to cool down very pleasantly here for the next few days. So I'm really excited about that. But the Southwest just continues to bake. Poor Texas. I don't know. Good heavens. I mean, the whole South. Look at that, right? Everything's hotter than Florida, which is just amazing. And here's the gas prices in my area. I paid $3.54 at Costco this afternoon, but there's a pretty big spread here. And Rockford, Illinois, you can buy properties, vacant land. That's what I was looking for. And actually, for $100,000, $150,000, you get a pretty decent house here if you want to live in Rockford, Illinois, which is center of the known world other than Wallace, Idaho. And it's pretty funny. Here's my route plan for the September month. So there we are, kind of at the top in the Chicagoland area. Tomorrow I get my adventure van storage box put on. Then I'm going to we're going to meet with Coachman RV. They're in Middlebury, Indiana. I'll probably stop by the embassy folks and just say hello. Then we're head to Kentucky, Louisville area for Bourbon Festival, and you kind of see I have to be in Chattanooga for the Adventure Van Expo the first weekend in October. So that's kind of my route plan, hanging around bourbon capital of the world, and that'd be Kentucky. So I'm really excited about that. In fact, we're going to be doing videos about the Bourbon Trail. So I'm all in on bourbon this month. So I might need to give my liver a break next month. I don't know. Come see me on the 17th. I think it'd be just a hoot to get a group of us together and go through Heaven Hill before. Oh my gosh, they have some of the greatest brands. Join me on Instagram. I don't post there. I've been kind of negligent on that lately, but a few more announcements. Facebook, if you're into the Facebook thing, a huge shout out to Sandy and Chris of Beyond Intention, their YouTube channel. They've actually put this together for us. And you are all very busy in there, I must say. And this is the whole point, was we come together as a community, and then you all can go camp with each other. You don't need me necessarily. So that's one way to do that. This is a new slide tonight. I'm going to talk about this at the end of the show, which will be ending in about 50 minutes, 50 minutes. But I need help. I am the worst person to ask for help. Many of you have said, what can we do to help? We've implemented some of those over the last, I'd say, year or so, but I'm really on a tear to grow this channel to 50,000 by New Year's, and that's adding about 20,000 people, a little less than that, 14,000 people. Well, 24,000. I've got 36,000 subscribers right now. Anyway, I'm on a tear to really grow this channel. I need your help. So these are what we're going to talk about at the end of the show tonight. And we'll be mentioning this over the next few weeks because I need help to get this done. I'm a one-man band, and my musical skills are pretty bad. Fair enough. Okay, a few more things. This Friday's video drops. I'm making a very bold statement about the storyteller versus the revel. And this will piss off some revel owners. I apologize in advance. It will delight some storyteller owners, and it will make you wonder if I'm getting a storyteller. So that video drops this Friday. I'm really excited about that. By the way, that rounds up our demo in that van for 3 days, 2 months in Colorado in June. But wait, there's more. Oh, man, it's sweaty in here. I should turn the AC on. Sorry about that. The guests, I've been working really hard, folks, to get some really good guests on. So let me show you this. So the embassy owners are doing a little van camp out on their own on September 27. A group of them have got together, and they want to come on and just do a Q&A about Embassy RV. We're doing a lot of stuff with Embassy RV right now. Even though we don't have one because the floor plan is wrong, front and center. We're going to do a Q&A with them, and they are really excited. Then in October 4, we've got Jerry Minchie. He's going to come on. He's been on before. He's a really prolific artist. Well, that too, author. And he's going to talk about secrets of RVing on a dime and a dream. Now, why this is important, because I do not RV on a dime. I'd certainly do it on a dream. My monthly expenses are about $3 to $4 grand a month. So he's going to come on and teach us how to do it for about $1,500. Which is pretty great. And if you look at the logo on the bottom right corner, ladies and gentlemen, I am thrilled to say my efforts have paid off. And we're going to have KOA, Campgrounds of America, on as our guest in November. And I couldn't be more pleased to have them on. It's a brand that I admire. I use a lot as a full-time traveler, and I would love to partner with them in some way. So that's what's going on there. Holy cow, we got a lot of announcements. I apologize. Going to get to your question. So events and Zoom, you ready? We've talked about this. Let me zoom in here for you. We got some new stuff right here. Ready for this? So again, this is the Bardstown, Kentucky Heaven Hill Distillery meetup on the 17th of September, 3 p.m. But wait, there's more. This is for the Patreon supporter exclusives, and I'm glad to, or happy to say that group is growing very nicely. We have a True Believers Zoom on the 23rd of September, a couple weeks away, and then there is a True, or for any of the Patreon supporters, we're doing a meetup in Roundup in Lexington, Kentucky on 19th of September. It's a Tuesday at 3 p.m. in the afternoon. Only Patreon members will get the secret location. So if you want to donate, I don't know, $10 a month or $20 a month, pick your level. It could be just you and me having coffee for a while. So who knows? I'm very excited about that. And thanks again for all the supporters there. There's our Zoom coming up. This is brand new here. So I've picked some dates. Caravans is where we start at one point, end at another. And I'm happy to announce, save the date, Texas Hill Country Caravan, March 14 and 15, 2024. So next year, I know it's a long way off. We're going to try and get a couple more in before the year ends. Van Breeze are what I call campouts. We camp at fun destinations. So we know about these. We've been talking about these for a while. This is the Adventure Van Expo, the Peace, Love, and Vans in February, but these are brand new. We're going to do the Texas Hill Country Van Breeze in Lukenbach, Texas again. Save the date. 3 days, 2 nights. I have an agenda this time. We're starting out in Lukenbach. Then we're going to visit the Lyndon Baines Johnson Texas White House Ranch. And then we're going to van camp in downtown Johnson City. and that's March 14, 15 of March next year. And then we're placing our flag again on Weird Wild West, Vanbury, and Bisbee, Arizona. These are the dates, April 22 to 24, next April. Save the date. I have no idea if the storyteller folks are going to be there like they were this year. It could be just a few of us. It'd be great. I'm going to stay in the Catholic Church parking lot again, because I know what it's all about, and it's close to town. So save the date. We had so much. There was a lot of you. We had so much fun last year. We're going to do it again and support that effort. Their website hasn't been updated other than just the dates for next year. So check that out, and it would be great to see it. We're going to have so much fun. We're going to dress up this year. That's for sure. And then, by the way, this is the holy cow, we got a lot of announcements. I apologize. This is the Peace, Love, and Vans. Use the discount code there and get saved 5%. Fair enough. All right, let's say howdy to a bunch of folks, answer some questions. Whew, that was a lot. I need to do a trailer about my announcements. I'm trying to figure out a better way to do this. I don't really know, because the website doesn't get visited as much as I would like to make this stuff happen. All right, let's zoom to the top. We're going to answer some Q&As and say howdy. So here we go. Ready? Peggy Owens, please describe the best and worst days you have had in 5 years. Peggy and Ashley, High Springs of Florida. They are the most lovely people. And I just saw them, what was it, last week? Heavens, time flies when you're having fun. It's an interesting question. I can tell you that my worst day in van life is probably better than my best day at my old corporate job. Loved what I did, who I worked with, blah, blah, but over air-conditioned cube with a big old Chicago commute, my worst van day, other than getting wrecked, somebody rear-ending my van in April in Fort Worth. My worst van day is probably better than my best corporate cube job days. I'd say best is when I'm really discovering stuff. When there's I call them little van life miracles, and it can be something as crazy as staying at BAM, a bowling alley in Holland, Michigan, that's a Harvest Host site, discovering amazing barbecue, so well done, and discovering bourbon I'd never had before. It could be something as simple as that to discovering hiking. Many of you have helped me change my ways in some of these things. So it's kind of everything. I think it just, I roll with the flow. I've learned how to do that. Nothing really gets me off guard anymore. If I can survive a car wreck and not get too agitated, the only thing that agitates me is drivers around me. Exhaustion is a thing. So I actually slept all day Sunday. I never got out of bed. So, because I'm trying to do too much. That's why I'm asking for some help. Because I just want to grow the mission, right? This is about helping us all. Well, we got a big crowd here tonight. This is great. Good question. And it's great to see you last week. All right, next question. I thought I saw one right here. And again, if you can help us out with the format, which is, this is my website, by the way, GoSmallLiveLarge.com. All these events are posted there. We're going to do way more. I'm on a tear to get this stuff done. So we got Roads of Life in the house. That one's for you, Rob. We got Ron in the house. Good to see you, sir. It's always good to see you. And we got Marcia. Did I say that right? From holy cow, Wimma. Not sure where that is, but that sounds like a fantastic place to be. It's just fun to say it. Let's see. Yeah, if you could do the question mark, 3 stars, 3 question mark, help me see it. So J&G's in the house. North Carolina. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us. 96 to get in North Carolina. Holy cow. David is just up the street in Indianapolis. I will definitely be stopping in Indianapolis, I think, on my way to Kentucky, because they have, well, so does Louisville. It's Old Spaghetti Factory. Love those. Here's Marcia's got a question. I'd like to know about cleaning routines, those showers, tracked in mud and dust. I just had to keep the entire place clean, place in and out clean. So my van needs a bath really bad. Miss Lily is absolutely filthy. She's probably not had a bath in probably a month. Now, fortunately, this dirt doesn't stick to the wrap as bad as it did when it was painted. But I take it to a self-serve car wash and I scrub it. It takes about 15-20 minutes and about $15 to $15. Now, if I go to a campground and they let me wash it, I got my own wash wand. On the inside, it's pretty basic. I use Windex for everything. I saw the movie Big Fat Greek Wedding, where apparently even for pimples, Windex works miracles. So I use Windex on everything. I just keep it simple, damp cloth and a little bit of Windex to get some greasy smudges off. Just wipe everything down. Before I do a Volta training at a Winnebago dealer, I wipe everything down really, really well on the inside, and that good for at least a week, maybe even longer than that, a little bit. For the floor, what I do is I have a full-size broom. It tucks in the back against the back door, and it sweeps out really easily. And then, depending on how muddy it's been, I get on my hands and knees with some paper towels and the Windex, and I kind of just scrub the floor. Pretty easy. Scrubbing the floor here, how long does it take to do your kitchen floor? It takes me about 4 minutes. If I'm cleaning house, the whole thing takes about 20 minutes. It's pretty amazing. I've got an idea I'm going to work on for tracking mud or keeping tracked mud out of the van, and that's coming soon to surprise you. And if you haven't seen my video I did on the Home Depot rug, you got to see that, because it's the magic squeegee rug. I'm looking at it right here because it's looking at me. It's really a great question. Let's see. Here is Finn. I just like calling it Finn in Buffalo, New York. Nice to see you, sir. My old boss lives in Buffalo, New York. Jane and Roger in the house. You guys are so awesome. Here we go. He helped me with some mods. And I can't tell you how I'm loving them. I have learned how to close the door again after 4.5 years full-time in this van. And that video is coming soon. I got so many videos. I need to sit still so I can just edit craziness. That's G and J. J. Jack and Gail. Thank you, Gail, for your lovely email. And what a great folks. They gave me some 9-year Knob Creek. What's not to like about them, right? Let's see, Gary in the house, and Don's in the house. San Mateo, $5. Mesa Mike, how are you, sir? I've been meaning to say hello for you a while. Finally made a live stream, woo in a while. Home base Mesa, 103, waiting for the cool down. Gas 439. How's your employment coming along? If anybody's looking for a training content creator, Mesa Mike is the one you want to reach out to. He's got some stipulations like, can I work in my van? He's a great guy, and you'll want to see him. So Mesa Mike, BJ's in the house. Let's see. Hello, Scott. My questions are: what security do you have? Van alarm systems, cameras, or special locks? And second, how do you find so many great street camping areas with no knocks? Bill and Joe are great gentlemen. They are new Coachman Beyond owners. Hope that is working out for you. From Sunshine State RVs, my second favorite RV dealer. Security, I just use common sense. I use intuition. I don't have a van alarm. Well, there's one built in the chassis. Never used it. I'm just really aware of my surroundings. I don't have any cameras because it's just more stuff I wouldn't even know how to install it, and to spend money on that, I'm not interested. So I kind of break a lot of the rules. But I got to tell you, in 4.5 years of full-time, I've maybe had 3 or 4 sketchy things. When I pulled in, it just didn't fit my criteria for staying overnight. And I just kept moving. So I think because we consume a lot of news, that a lot of us think maybe that every place you go is a crime scene. And it's so not accurate. All towns have a bad spot, regardless of size. So I think it's just be willing to discover, explore, take a tiny risk, but use common sense, use your intuition. And I've talked to many ladies, and solo ladies on the road, and they are doing the same thing. They don't have all this stuff. Now, if things get really bad, how do I get this off? I got bear spray, the 2 orange cans, right? And I might even be getting a GUN. I don't know. Because there's one that's been on my mind. Mostly not for self-protection, just to go have, shooting practice with. So that's kind of how I roll. How do I get great street camping, urban camping, I call it? Just doing it. Again, rolling the dice a little bit. But if you've been to my workshop that I do in person, I have my criteria to stay overnight, and then I have my criteria, my checklist for safety, van leveling, and all that stuff. So We'll probably make a video on that. I should. I've done many videos. There's one in Bardstown, literally off Main Street, half block. It was so much fun. But until you tried urban camping, I don't think you've really and/or shit shower shaved in your van in the grocery store parking lot. Pardon the French. I don't think you've really had the full van experience. Holy cow, we're going through time like crazy. Let's see. Jerry Minchie in the house. Mentioned you, sir. And we are excited to get your advice, sir, on RVing on a dime, because that's clearly not what I'm doing. Good to see you. Have you got the Cedar Key yet? Are they doing okay down there? I need to reach out badly to them down there. So gentlemen in the house, David's in the house, Sherry. I need to talk with you, young lady, to get some of the What's Up Wednesday with the Embassy Campout coming up. So, did we see Tin Can Carl? Did I see him already? Oh, there he is right here. Here's Grace in the house. That's not too bad. Southern California. Grace, thanks for being here. Appreciate that. Tin Can Carl. So great having you on last week, sir. You were just really great. He put so much energy and effort, like most guests do. But he was just really special. He created a trailer for the thing. It was so amazing, which, by the way, is done pretty well. Kind of interesting. Tin Can Carl, does Kyle's mother still get to open envelopes with money for the stickers? Yes, but I haven't been promoting it. There was a big spike and then nothing. So Kyle, my partner of 20, almost 4 years in February, Vietnamese. His Vietnamese mom speaks really great English, but she loves getting money in the mail. Let me tell you, maybe we start talking about stickers again, because she lit up like a Christmas tree. She thought it was pretty cool doing van life because she was getting money and then she'd send you the stickers. So maybe we need to start that again, because I'm going to be seeing her soon and I want her on my side. Christy, I saw your email today. Thank you. I am so proud of you, and I'll reply to your email. Give me a day or two. The story with Christy is Dallas, Fort Worth, new kid on the block. Yeah, 100. So Christy was the winning bid for the Alan Jackson Silver Belly Whiskey Wagon Embassy RV Dolphin S. Last week we announced she was the winner, and you are going to be. I slept in that van, by the way, in case you didn't know. I was pretty excited about that. And she's the new owner. They're getting it soon. And stay tuned, Christy. I'll answer your email. It was a lovely email. Laura from Tennessee. Love Tennessee, one of my favorite states. Although Colorado is currently my favorite state. Steve's in the house. Deborah's got a question here. Are you enjoying the traveling again, especially now that you're pushing yourself to expand comfort zone? Yes. In fact, good question. All these are good questions. So my kind of new passion, I haven't done much in the last few days. Oh my God, it's so annoying. Is I don't know how well you can see this. So this is my home screen. Good grief. So home screen, 2 apps on top. One is Ride with GPS. Right next to it is All Trails. All Trails. What a superb app. So with my new bike, I'm really excited to do some lightweight mountain biking, but it's biking around. I'm so excited. And then with the All Trails, what it does, it takes you, it's a really superbly done app, because it looks at the trails nearby, and you know, moderate, easy, hard, length, navigation around. So I'm out probably every, pick a number, Scott, I'd say every second or third day on even just a quick 1 mile loop. Some of you on Patreon are going to see some of these images. So yes, enjoying traveling, pushing myself to new limits. Yes. And we've been doing a lot around that. So I think we just need to do that. It makes us good human beings. Thank you for asking. David Green, when did you know that van life would be a reality for you? I would say let me get this off the screen and make it a little easier to show us this. When I saw these people right here, we're the Russos, saw what they were doing, why and how, and I figured I could probably emulate them, and I did that. And when I found the van floor plan that allowed the distinctive living area spaces in a van, my Travato, I knew I could do this. So it was convincing my old corporate job, my other half, and putting a lot of time into it and putting a lot of passion into action, and it's turned out pretty good. I'm gonna get all choked up. I just knew that when I got into this floor plan with the intention of traveling full time, because I just was tired of life as I knew it, and I needed a huge change. So why not do this? Doing it forever? Absolutely not. I'm not sure what the next year, so 2025 holds, but this Vans are rocking for the next 16 18 months for sure, and then we'll kind of reevaluate. But thanks for asking the question. Man, I need to get my stuff. Okay, a couple more here. I love these questions. It's ask me anything. So Grace wants to know, what are you using for consistent internet access? So I have a couple. My primary thing is, hoping I don't jinx it by touching it, is my Verizon Jetpack. I've had this for 4 years, maybe longer than that. It's $65 a month, unlimited data, Verizon LTE. It is battery operated, and I usually put through about 500 gigabytes through the Verizon network on this device. And wherever I am, it goes with me. I can have something on the roof, but Starlink, you got to put it up, take it down, or mount it up there, and got blah blah blah. My iPad is on T-Mobile, and then I got, of course, my phone. But the Verizon Jetpack is my go-to for everything. It's even running this show tonight. So this show is powered by Verizon and Volta, and I'm really happy to say they didn't pay me a single dime for saying that. So I think you need to have failover. That's why my iPad's on T-Mobile. It's an unlimited plan, and I put through and that's my primary tool. I can only use this to record, maybe make a phone call. My iPad, it's about 400 to 500 gigabytes a month go through my iPad. It's pretty stunning. Great question. Just shop around, I think, because they're always changing. I got in early when unlimited was really unlimited, and I have not been throttled down in a very long time from T-Mobile or Verizon on that. So I think if you're trying to think you can get through, 20 or 30 gigabytes hotspot on your phone, maybe, depending on how you consume content, but I do that probably in a day, right? So Mr. Kurtz in the house. So great to see you at the camp out, sir. I love it. It's Cecilia. I will tell her, I will not, Rich, say that Cecilia, Mrs. Kurtz, slept on the floor. That'll be our secret. She did not sleep on the floor. Just so great to see you both. Gary's in the house with a question. You spend a lot of time creating great content for your channel and being a brand ambassador. If you did not have a channel, what would you spend all that extra time doing? Well, I'd be traveling and taking it all in. It's probably one of my big, I wouldn't say annoyances, but because I'm so busy creating the content and like the show takes a whole day to do the show, I actually am traveling less and I'm going to fewer cool places because it's my gig, right? So if I didn't have the YouTube thing, I wouldn't have you all. But I would be doing a lot more fun things than I currently do. So you retirees know what I'm talking about. You just go do fun things. But this is my occupation. This is how I make money. So, which is one of the questions tonight. Oh my God, we got to hurry. Hopefully that helps. I'm trying to find a life balance here. I'm clearly out of balance right now. Any YouTube content creator will tell you that, or overworked corporate person. Sherry, what software do you use for video editing? Asking for a friend. Hello, friend. So I'm on my Macintosh laptop, which is what I use for two things only, is running Chrome to do StreamYard, which is the broadcast studio for this YouTube live event. So video editing, I use iMovie on my Macintosh. I'm trying to train myself to use Final Cut on my iPad. One less thing to do on the Macintosh, but I'm still just using plain old iMovie on my Mac. So I'm really fast at it. It's not super fancy, but it gets the job done. Next week's song of the week might be Something by Jimmy Buffett. That's a great point. So let's say a prayer for Jimmy Buffett. He gave up the ghost just a couple days ago, right? And what a great guy. I should have thought about that tonight. I've been playing George Michael, so I don't know. Okay, we'll do one of these, and then we'll get through some more content here. Roads of Life. A friend told me, jokingly, RVing is paying money to live like a homeless person. My question, do you ever feel RV parks and other expenses are just too much for what they provide? 100%. I usually am in an RV park or a campground 1 or 2 nights a week because I need to just not roll street camping, urban camping, harvest host like I am tonight. I just need to sit tight, do laundry, plug in, do the tanks. I've been to many KOAs in particular lately where it's a terrible value. $86. I'm like, for what they give for, I'm just like, I will stay. Maybe I'll make a 2-night reservation. I get there, I'm like, this is a waste of money. I'd rather go have a $30 bar tab street camp. So I cancel the second night. That's how I roll. So yeah, I think but they're so full. All the campgrounds are full. Even the state park stuff is expensive. The one I just was in Holland, I had to buy the Holland Recreation Passport, which was $40 for the year. And it was in addition to the camp fee, which I think was like $38 a night. And it's one of the worst state parks there in Holland because it's so crammed together. Might as well have been under the KOA, which was whatever. All right, let's do some more content here. I will answer some more questions. I want to get some of these. So let me roll forward. So this is where we are. Oh my gosh, we having fun tonight? Give us a thumb up if you are. Okay, so ask me anything about van life. So, anything's on the table. You're doing a great job at this. Don't need help with this. So what I'm going to do is answer these questions to the best of my ability as quickly as possible. And I'm answering them in the order of survey results. Make sense? So each of these could be a video, and it may well be a video. So the first one we want to talk about is how do I reduce decision fatigue for less stress, more fun? Deep breath, Scott. It's probably still one of the biggest things I work through. One, because of all of my YouTube duties, because it's probably the most stressful thing is YouTube. That would apply to most of you. So I think it's just what I do is I make a reservation just because I want to know where I'm going to be in a couple of days. If you've been on a few trips, you know that this is kind of important. To be a complete wandering nomad would probably drive me crazy unless I didn't have to do some work. But by making a reservation every 2 or 3 days out, that gives me comfort. I know where I'm going to be, and I can just kind of wander around until I get to that point. And I want to discover and wander. That's kind of the whole point. I've learned how to reduce the decision fatigue by writing stuff down. I have a morning routine. I'm back in the gym routine. I hit my weight goal last week, 155 pounds. I've been working on that for a year. Couldn't quite get those last 5 off, but now the workout, is part of the routine now. I have an evening routine. I do laundry at camps or a laundromat. I have a routine for that. So by developing routines while traveling and developing criteria to stop and check something out, brown signs, historic districts, trailheads, maybe if the point of interest is not too far off where I'm going, I'll stop, check out how far it is, what is it, and then determine to go or not. Has really reduced a lot of that kind of block and tackle fatigue. But the kind of the rudimentary things for what's going to happen there here is emptying tanks, finding water, going grocery shopping. I've gotten really good at that over the years. So that is, drivers are just probably my biggest stress point other than YouTube. But those are some things to think about is, make a reservation. I used to plan every single day in advance before I went full time. That lasted about, 6 days. I'm like, this is crazy. But I definitely have a route plan, and I wish I could show you. I actually put it in my calendar where I'm going to stay. And I use my calendar pretty readily still. And then all the URLs and addresses and all that stuff goes into a calendar event. So it helps me reduce a lot of that. So hopefully that helps on that question for that. Next question. How can I make money traveling full-time in my RV? There's a lot of ways to do this. I think the first thing one needs to do is why are you traveling? Why are you traveling in a van? I think unless you kind of figure out, or even an RV in general, your why, I think you're kind of missing some of the juice, and you might make some bad decision. What am I talking about? So I am not traveling in a van to live as meagerly on as little money as I can. I'm only going to do this for probably another, I don't know, a couple years. I'm going to take it all in as much as I can. And that runs a bill of about $3 to $4 grand a month. But that's everything. My housing, my food, my everything, internet, blah, blah, blah. So when I had a house, my house payment was $3 to $4 grand plus the yard. I mean, just, add it up, right? So I think determining your travel style is really important. That determines how much money you need to make. There's a lot of ways to do it. YouTube is not super awesome for making money. There are work camping programs through like Amazon. There are camp hosts that can pay like at a KOA. They pay. You can stay there. You can stay for free not for free, but you work as a camp host at state parks. You can publish books. You can work with some brands like I do. And I think there's a lot of ways to do this. I'm probably going to do a video on this because I keep getting this more and more, which is great. I think the gal that really did some great content on this, and she's tried everything, was Creativity RV. What is her name? Creativity RV is her channel name. But she's been doing full-time for many, many years. I just kind of followed the Russo's plan, which was start a channel, get some partnerships that pay, and even Patreon is part of my gig right now. So every dollar matters. Every dollar goes toward this mission. You need to figure out your mission first, your why, and then are you doing it to save money? In which case you're going to be out in the West, sitting in BLM land for 2 weeks at a time for free. That's not what I'm doing. So those are some ideas. Maybe some others have some ideas. Next question was, how concerned should I be about safety and breakdowns? We actually talked about this with Tin Can Carl last week. I am not concerned about safety like at all. We talked about this earlier. I'm just aware of my surroundings. I use common sense. I use intuition. I use my criteria checklist. I've never had a problem. I had one time when I was in the van when somebody tried to see what the bike situation was. This was years ago. And it was right side of the French Quarter in New Orleans. And all I did was, because I was staying on the street outside of French Quarter, I had a flashlight ready to go. So as soon as I felt the movement, I peeled back the curtain, hit him with I assume it was him, with the flashlight, and off they scampered like rats in the daylight. And that was it. That was the only time I've ever been bothered. I've only had one knock from a security at a Walmart because they said no parking overnight. Okay. I had a kind of a bang on the side of the vehicle when I parked what looked like a light industrial park by day. Turns out it was party central at night. All the warehouses were actually breweries and party zones. It was so drunk people on the way, hit the van because they want to slap Miss Lily on the butt, I guess. I don't know. Breakdowns, I've gotten pretty good at that. Let's see. I got a car crash, a serpentine belt. I've never had a flat, knock on wood. Not really excited about that. Let's see what else. I just call Progressive Assurance. I call them for roadside assistance, and they hook me up. So breakdowns, having been through some of those, I had a cylinder head go. You got to expect it, just like breakdowns at your house. Got to roll with it. What's your plan to address it? And don't be worried about it. Just, it's like, oh, new part of van life experience. I have a few tools in the van so I can fix some things myself. I could change a flat tire. Oh my God. See, it's time for Libation Live. Let's see. Next one, last one. How do I start van life travel, either part-time or full-time? I think it's kind of sit down with yourself and your spouse, decide if you're doing it together. I would not really encourage going full-time from the get-go, unless you're absolutely certain. I would start part-time. I would shop for the right van based on your travel style. I would rent vans that the floor plans you think match your travel style. I would try a generator version, and I would try a lithium-based version. I would start slow and intentional, but I would encourage you to start. Because if you sit on the couch watching me for 5 years now, I'm like, what are you waiting for? Get out here with us. Get out here with me. Let's go to Heaven Hill Distillery on Sunday, 17 September at 3 p.m. and have that experience together. I'd rather have you do cool trips part-time, even if it's you're buying a used van, try it for a little bit, and then just say, it was a 12-month experience, kind of like Ginger Walkabout. Remember her? That's what she did. She full-time for a year. Said, I did what I wanted. So that would be my advice for those that are kind of in that. I would take a leap of faith and just do it. Which kind of leads us to the last question on the survey, which is, how do I choose the best camper van for me? Really sit down with yourself and your spouse and figure out, why do you want to travel in a van? It's a very different way to travel. There's very distinct compromises and very distinct advantages that only a camper van will deliver for you, in my opinion. But then once you kind of figure out your why, then figure out how a floor plan and RV systems enable your why. Now, if this was 90 degrees, I'd be running my Volta system, or the AC off my Volta system tonight. And nobody knows I'm even here, even on a city street, because I have no generator noise on the exterior. It's pretty awesome. So hopefully that helps. Thanks for doing the survey. Those of you that did, there was a bunch of you. Let's get back to some Q&A. What do you think? Actually, let's do Libation Live. Are you fine with that? Because I want to get into this. Yeah, having fun? Give us a thumb up. Appreciate that. We got about 20 minutes to go. Yeah, ish, 15. Okay, so here's the deal for Libation Live tonight. And now as part of this, we'll talk about this day in history. And I'll tell you about how I broke my cabinet from too much bourbon. And the video's coming soon. Everyone go this way. So you choose. I'm going to give you just a few seconds to tell me which one I should be drinking. Now, those of you that were at the Volta campout, I'm pretty generous with this stuff. That's why I do this. There's kind of the usual drinking stuff, but you can find anywhere that's kind of inexpensive but really yummy. But the good stuff I save for when we get together. Like we polished off almost. I don't know how many of us there were. Woodford Reserve Double Oaked. So should I have a Libation Live with that? Should I open a brand new bottle of Four Roses small batch? That's certainly delicious. How about Peerless? This comes from Kentucky. This is 109 proof. Woo, that'll tickle your taste buds. Or should I have a Libation Live with Blanton's Gold Series by myself? Yeah, I'm not doing this one by myself. This is special stuff, only saved for special occasions with special people. So we're not doing that one by myself. I save all these, like this one's pretty, available, right? This one's a perennial favorite. So I'll give you a few minutes. So between these three, which one should I have a pour of? Or actually, this one. Then I can get rid of the bottle because it's almost empty. It's about maybe 2 pours. So let's pick this one. I don't know. You guys choose, and gals. So I'll look in a couple minutes. Let me get through the rest of this. Answer a few more questions. Are you having fun yet? Excuse me. There's something in the air here. With the weather shift, the wind shifted, and my sinuses and I'm going crazy. All right. Let's see where I start off. So video editing. Roads of Life wants to know, have you been to the desert in a van with no name? Well, I've been to Arizona, I've been to New Mexico, so yeah, they all have a name though, right? Until you do the desert with the cactus and the moon and the stars, one of my favorite places is Lost Dutchman State Park outside of Phoenix. And God, until you've been there, you really are missing out. There's so many great places to go. That's why it's just so much fun. All right, so one more minute, then we're going to do a pour, and we'll do our day in history. Let's see, Mason Mike has a question here. Our vans are part of the family. That's why I named mine Van the Bandit. Named after my first dog. His adult name is Bandit. Yeah, I totally agree with you there, Mason Mike. Okay, looking for questions. Let's see. Grant says, Matt, many boats have a name. I remember at North Adonis who named his boat Braces. Braces paid for the boat. So van life with Steve. Hey, what's up, sir? Good to see you. we'll have to visit the Isle Royale next year. Does anybody have any advice on if I should still head to Voyagers in the Teddy Roosevelt National Park this October? Some of y'all will have to help out Steve. He was a guest on What's Up Wednesday. He did a whole bunch of parks in a whole little bit of time. He's on a tear. You can help him out because I have not been to any of those. Okay, looking for some questions here. So Mason Mike. So we're going to talk about this in just a couple minutes. So if you're wanting to volunteer for some of those duties I talked about, shoot me an email, gsllviewerrecommendation@gmail.com. gsllviewerrecommendation.com. We're going to get a posse together and we're going to work really hard on this for the next couple of months because I just need help to really pull this off in a big way that I think we all deserve. And I can't do it myself. So thank you, Mason Mike, for doing a moderator. And that's in a couple different ways. We've got some Zoom things coming up that are not Patreon based. I'm thinking about that. And even doing this show helps me find the questions and get those more rapid fire going. Have you ever been to a, I'll leave it at that. So Beyond the Firm, Frisco T, what's up? 102 Badlands. You are going to love it. You are going to love it. Frisco T in the Badlands. Hey, Amore Vans, what's up? Your van tour of Amore Van is doing very well, by the way. I think we're at 12,000 views. And where's Sherry? Your video, young lady, that we did last summer that posted, when did it post? October, maybe? We're like 30,000 views from 1 million. 1 million views of that video. Whatever you did, I need to have you come back and do all my van tour videos, please. We could almost keep up with Ryan Toomey. For all of those of you that follow him, you know what? He's getting out of van life. He's going to be renting a house. He's going to take little trips. But I'm like, I'm the road warrior still. I'm like, what are you people all doing? So there we go. Yeah, Ryan Toomey. And his girlfriend's on the other side of the country, which, anyway, he's an interesting cat. Bisbee! I know. Thank you, Matt. He's already planning everything. Okay, let me look at the bottom here for the whiskey, bourbon, Woodford. Woodford, finish the bottle. Oh, that's what's making my nose crazy. Good Lord. Ever since yesterday. Yeah, I agree with all of you. Double oaked is great stuff. It's so lovely. I'm not sure if Lisa's in here tonight, but she was one that joined us at the Volta campout. She actually thanked me specifically for sharing the bourbon, which is why I have a big bourbon collection. Kyle and I got into it today because I was explaining my broken cabinet. I'm like, I buy it so we can share it together. Okay, you ready? So Woodford Reserve, double oaked. What's this run, everybody? About $50 a bottle, maybe 60. It is 90 proof. Finished in a second oak barrel is what makes it double oaked. It's so smooth. If you haven't been to the Woodford Reserve, man, I need to give my voice box a second. This is just the most lovely stuff and a great tour. Cheers, everybody. Almond, honey, oak, goldenrod. I don't know. So for those of you that are kind of new to the program, the reason we do Libation Live is so I can share with you where I find these things. To me, that's the whole point of van life is discovery. Oftentimes it's a harvest host, distillery, brewery, winery. Bring them all on, tell you a little bit of the story. Again, if you're in Kentucky, this is on the, I'm pretty sure it's on the trail, my bourbon trail. Good Lord. Yeah, this is, if you haven't tried this, this is a must on your list. Thank you for suggesting it, everybody. I might just finish the bottle off tonight. That means I actually have room in my my cabinet. So here's the deal on the let's do this day in history. There's cool stuff in here. So this day in history, let me zoom in for you. This comes from our friends at Wikipedia, and if you haven't looked at the app, it's a really great app. So this day, 26 years ago, the Princess Diana funeral took place in London. Over 1 million people lined the streets. What were you doing during that day? I can remember exactly where I was. I remember where I was from the funeral, I think more than when the car crash happened. Now that I say that. For you sports fans, 28 years ago, Cal Ripken Jr., Baltimore Orioles, plays his 231st consecutive game, breaking a record that stood for 56 years. All right, in all fairness, I'm thinking I'm doing 139 episodes of What's Up Wednesday. How about 2,131 episodes of What's Up Wednesday? And then 162 years ago, this is an honorable mention because American Civil War, the force under Ulysses Grant bloodlessly captured Paducah, Kentucky, giving the Union control of the Tennessee River's mouth. And until you've been to Paducah, Kentucky, you don't know what you're missing. What a great small town. It's just across the Illinois border. It's on the river. God, I've actually street camped there twice, and it is just the coolest little town. It's exactly what I love to find. Okay, let me do Song of the Week quick, and then we will take a few more questions, and then I'll tell you about the volunteer thing if you want to stick around for that. The numbers are dwindling already, but that's okay. I totally get it. You got things to do, so do I. Okay, so this is the Song of the Week. It's on a CD, which kind of gives a hint that it came from the 80s or 90s. Ready for this? I kind of gave away the artist. George Michael, Fast Love, Part 1. Was there ever a Part 2? Was released in April of 1996. It was his seventh and final #1 hit in his lifetime in the United Kingdom. What was kind of funny is there was a reporter from Entertainment Weekly that said it was pretty brave to write and do a song as a salute to a one-night stand. And in the context of when this was released, abstinence from sex was a big deal. Those of you that lived through that time, it was say no to drugs and say no to sex. How'd that work out for everybody? So if you haven't played this in a while, it's a really great song. It's a really great video. George Michael, God bless him. Rest in peace, George Michael. Yeah. Okay, so let's answer a few more questions, and then I want to talk about the volunteer thing. So if you want to stick around for that, let's just get our questions answered because this is live Q&A. Okay, let me zoom back up here a little bit. Bear with me. Oh, this was a new name? Oh, Neil and Britt in the house. We were just in the parking lot together a couple of nights ago. That's how we do this. Van friends roll around, keep in touch, right? And then we hang out. Beautiful moon, and actually got to see the Saturn that evening. Saturn after the full moon. Well, it comes up after the moon, but you can actually see it with a good pair of binoculars. Stunning. Anyway, Neil and Brett, howdy. This, that, and more. This may be a new one. Welcome to What's Up Wednesday. Thanks for being here. Excuse me. You have a spare tire, a custom-made rack. I custom made a tire rack from my Pleasureway Lexar ProMaster. I can't imagine boondocking without a spare tire. Yeah, I never really worried about it. I just, roadside assistance. But now that I have one, it looks cool. The tire and the ladder saved my van from catastrophe when I got rear-ended. I'm glad to have one now. It looks cool. It's fashion with function, and I can get to it really easily because it's on the back of the van, not underneath. So congratulations, sir, for doing that. It's a great addition to your van. What a great van you have. Hey, look at this, Jeff. Scott, coming through Indy, need a place to park for the night? Let us know. I will do that, sir. I can't figure out exactly. I need to look at the map. But yes, thank you for that invite. I appreciate that. Everybody ready? Oh, man, after it opens up for a minute, there's like a little citrus in there too, huh? But that double oak, it's so smooth and it's so full and rich. And you see the color's just stunning, right? Oh my God. So if you haven't seen, there's 2 documentaries. Thank you, Joe Russo, for turning me on to Neat, the story of bourbon. Neat, if you just like on Apple TV or any of your favorite platforms. Neat, the story of bourbon. And then oh goodness, what's the other one? It'll come to me in a second. There's another one about Kentucky bourbons specifically. But if you look at Neat, it'll probably be a suggestion underneath. So check out Neat. Let's see. Marcia's got a question here. Puppy pads are great for sleeping on with the wet and muddy and thrown away. I also use them to step out of the shower instead of using towels. Good idea there. I appreciate that. I haven't thought about that. Especially if you have a dog, right? Rosa Light ran for years. That's a long time, ladies and gentlemen. I know, right? Holy cow. Let's see. Mason Mike. Hey, Sky, I notice your urban cowboy influence has died down lately. No cowboy attire. Are you retiring that character? Kind of miss the cowboy van bro. LOL. I did cut it down by about 50% because I have only so many things in the van. I've just found a real through this hiking situation, hiking in cowboy boots and cotton, everything. It's not a pleasant experience. So again, thanks to Marie and Chris and Sandy and so many of you helped me think through different things, which is kind of what this is all about. I went and got some new, appropriate hiking attire, and I got to say it's really been comfortable in the summer heat. Now, with it getting cool, I need to kind of adjust that a little bit. I'm not giving up on the on my urban cowboy by any stretch, but I guess now I have split personality. I don't know why. Let's see. So Grace wants to know, do you have a tool that tells you seasonal weather patterns across the U.S., travel planning, avoid seasonal issues like hurricanes? I just kind of use, Grace, I think kind of the obvious things. It's going to be cooler in the north in the summer, although not much cooler this year. It's going to be hot in the summer in the south, so stay out of the south. Go up elevation to get into cool weather. Don't go to Florida during hurricane season. Or just monitor the Gulf. But in a van and RV, you can just, if it's coming, you can unpack, unplug, and scamper off. I avoid winter weather because my van is not good in winter weather. It's a 3-season van, so I'm kind of anywhere from 40 to 75 is kind of my temperature range. So I don't have any tools. Maybe some others know. I keep an eye on the weather, kind of, but I don't let it affect me. Other than those things we talked about. Robin, that's her name. Thank you, Sherry. Yes, Robin from Creativity has written some good books on Amazon, and she updates them and has done a lot of videos. So she's really kind of my go-to. If you're looking to make money on the road and you don't want to do YouTube, don't want to work with brand partners, you don't want to create workshops and kind of some of those things, check her stuff out. She's got some really great advice. Yes, thank you, Robin. She is a character. She was really motivating for me because she just hated her corporate job. And she started out in a van, I think, right? Or at least like a Unity leisure travel van. Now she's in a fifth wheel. I watch her stuff every now and again. But so many of the van people have just, whether part-time or full-time, are they've just disappeared. I mean, I get it. It's a lot of work to be on the road a lot. I'm still loving it. Feels like I'm just getting started. Grace, a couple more questions and we'll talk about volunteers needed. Grace wants to know, do you have any RV insurance for the house, not the vehicle? Do you have any RV insurance for the house? I'm not sure what you mean. No is the answer because I technically don't own any houses. I have no interest in owning a house. In fact, we're selling a house. Well, Kyle is. Do you have any RV insurance for the house? You have to help me with that. I'm assuming that if the RV is parked at the house and the house burns down, the RV is next to it, or I don't know, somebody will have to, a hurricane mows down the house and the RV, which takes over. I don't know that. Haven't had to deal with it yet. I love this, Carol. Your simplicity is fantastic. How do I start van life? Get a van. But, take intentional steps. Get beyond intention. Take some steps, like we talked about. And actually have a video I'm planning based on a Financial Times out of London article. Really got me thinking about it. The title of the article is How Do I Do Van Life? Start Van Life with No Money. Join the dwellers in dilapidated RVs in Portland, Oregon at the... Oh, I'm kidding. Here comes that bug again. Let's see. Les has a question. Are you available for basic questions about Volta systems? If not, where do you suggest? The Volta website directs me to a third-party installer. I just want an informal conversation about what? It looks like you're trying to get a Volta system installed in a rig. There's only one place that does that. That's the RV place. I think it's on Volta's website in Holland, Michigan. So that's a pretty quick answer. If you want to install a Volta system in some other van that's pre-installed by one of the big OEMs like Winnebago, I would call that third party and have a chat with them. But if it's on basic Volta operations, I've done a bunch of videos on it. Volta's done a bunch of videos on it. Winnebago's done some videos on it. What basic questions do you have? So we can answer those. Not tonight, probably, but join us, Les, for another What's Up Wednesday, and maybe we'll have a Volta-focused one for that. Sherry Ann and Robinson. Hey, Mike, what's up? How many cats you got now? 2 or 3? Brooklyn on grandma duty is so great. They're one of my favorites because they're one of my earliest big memories. Okay, so let's... Oh, somebody said 4 Roses. Who is that? A lot of folks... Oh, Roses, right there. Granville. It's lovely. Man, until you've been to the 4 Roses distillery tasting thing, they tell you all about the yeast, the recipes. It's pretty amazing. All right, let me... I'm going to miss some questions. I apologize. But let's talk about this real quick because there's 87 of you left, and you are probably... well, anyway. So here we go. So here's why I'm doing this is because I just need help getting stuff done. We could do more stuff collectively if I had some help. So volunteers, this is not a paid position, but volunteers very needed. So location scout, the reason we need a location scout is, let's say you know of a plot of land in a cool area that we could have a vanbaree on. Let's say you have leads to a parking lot in a cool town that we could work with the property owner to have a vanbaree or at least a meetup. Maybe you have someplace that I should go and do a video on because you've been there and it needs to be shouted out. That's why a location scout is so important. Now, we can have many location scouts, but for me to find these things and make all the contacts, it's a lot of work, which leads us to event planning. So I am planning, and a huge shout out to Frisco Tea for getting us going last year as a location scout and event planner for Lukenbach and that Harvest Host winery we did. She helped get that going, and now it's kind of going to be an annual event because we had so much fun, and it was fairly easy to do. What we will not be doing this year is meeting at the Visitors Center. We create a traffic jam that they're still talking about, I'm sure. So I'll meet someplace else to start. But the event planner will probably work somewhat in conjunction with Location Scout to help plan the event. So there are 3 places I am looking to do an event, a vanbaree, which is a camp out. One's in Butte, Montana. One's in Helper, Utah. And the other is in this tiny town in Colorado. I can't think of it. But I have that location because it was a Harvest Host site. So I've got him and his contact. He's willing to host us. So that's why we could do more of these things more frequently and plan more in advance if we have location and somebody can help with the planning. Moderator is, I want to do a bunch of Zoom things coming up, but I, again, need somebody to help moderate that Zoom. That's not as big as this group. There's other things I want to do, YouTube Live, but I need a moderator to find the right questions, to make sure people are being polite. I'm really happy to say that we've rarely had a problem in here. But a moderator for What's Up Wednesday in particular would be a super, super help. Thank you, Mason Mike. And it could be a couple of us, 3 of us, right? Newsletter. I tried a newsletter, failed miserably. It too is a ton of work. I need somebody that's good with newsletter templates. I can provide the content-ish based on videos and other things, but I need somebody to kind of put the newsletter together that we could do it, I don't know, once or twice a month. And with that goes an email list. I failed miserably at this. I've tried MailChimp and GoDaddy's, who my website's hosted by, And it's a colossal lift because I got to learn all this stuff. And I'm trying to get videos out, and I'd rather spend my time doing that. So again, volunteers for newsletter, package it, some of the content. And if you have a YouTube channel or stuff like that, maybe we can collab and work on this together. I have no problem helping promote others that have the same mission basically as me. And Roads of Life, and Amore Vans, and I'm going to miss some others. Beyond Intentions, Neil and Britt, right? So how do we work together to get the message out? And that leads us to brands. So the brands I work with is Embassy RV. They pay me for content. Volta, they pay me to go train Winnebago dealers. I'm hoping to snag a little bit of a hook with the KOA folks. I think there's things that they can do to make van travelers more comfortable in their campgrounds. That'd be like not squeezing us between two Class A's or on the end next to the dumpster because it's a small site, and just really work with brands that I believe in. Topo Design, REI. I'm this close to getting an affiliate with them. REI does weekend seminars on first-time trail hiking, first-time mountain biking, first-time van camping, right? I just need somebody to help either keep me accountable or help me with some of the minutia that brings brands into our family that I believe in, certainly, that would benefit most. And if I make some money on it, great. That just keeps the show on the road. Because if I don't have the money coming in, Embassy, Volta, YouTube, now, if you've heard me talk about that, then the show's over. I'm just going to roam around and you'll never see me again. Kind of kidding on that, but seriously, that's what pays the bills. $3 to $4 grand a month is what this party takes. And YouTube, I've shared this before, and if this is the first time you're hearing it, in 3 years of monetizing my YouTube channel, I've made $59,000 in 3 years. So I am not getting rich on YouTube. In fact, I'd be on BLM land out in, I don't know, South Dakota, because I'd be saving my dimes because that's all I'm making. Do 60 grand over 3 years. Try living on 20 grand a year. Not the way I roll. So just being very transparent here, needing your help. So if you're interested in any of this, reach out to me. This is the email address here, gslviewerrecommendation@gmail.com. Location scout, event planner, moderator, newsletter, email list, and anything around brands. If you have experience in particular with newsletter and email list, I don't want to have to teach anybody because I don't know anything about it. But location scout, that's pretty easy. Event planning, I can help with that. Moderator, we can help with that. Brands, I've had really great success with that. And if you're trying to spin up your own YouTube channel and work to get some brands, I could probably help you. Again, how do we work together to build this channel bigger than it should be? There's no reason this channel shouldn't be 50,000, even 100,000 people. 5 years doing this? My Woodford is not kicked in yet. I'm just telling you, I get so irritated when this channel isn't blowing up, when some of these other people doing RVing use clickbait titles like Ryan Twomey, I lied to you, I'm sorry. And he's hiking off to go rent a house in San Diego. I get it, but I don't do the clickbait titles very often because it's just not the way we roll. We're going to build this channel and our community the right way, standing on a solid foundation of good values and helping each other out. That's what this is about. So if you can help me, help us, I'll get up my soapbox. Cool. All right, a few more questions and then we'll call it a wrap. Appreciate you listening to me rant, but I'm looking for help. And many of you had said, why aren't you doing this? Roger and Jane gave me this advice years ago. So thank you very much. Many of you have. So I just love this. So, oh, no way. Frisco T says, Robin was the first one that got me thinking about traveling in an RV. My channel got sold in B class. And aren't you glad? Wait till you see. Beyond the Fern is her YouTube channel, and she has redone the interior of her van. She now has a twin bed in the Beyond, which has a convertible sofa bed that's no longer there in the back. Check out her video, and that's pretty good. Oh yes, I'm fully insured. Progressive. You've not shopped Progressive. It's just they've been so great. I got a call from them just a couple days ago from my car crash in April. I submitted expense for, I can't remember what it was, Uber rides. Lyft rides and $260 some. I said, hey, you haven't cashed your check. I'm like, dear Kyle, paper checks on home base, yeah, often get overlooked. So they called me and said, oh, here's how you do it online. And I got my money. I'm like, what a great insurance company. Okay, just looking down here, see if there's anything else we'll call to wrap. Yeah, I love REI. I'm so excited to get back to the city, Oak Brook Terrace, because I'm serious about the cold weather stuff. Everything I have is very lightweight. I'm just so excited. This is how change happened. Thank you, Sherry. I'm actually thinking, so again, location, event planner. What if we could go someplace where we could park our vans, hike in, not too far, not extreme, and then camp out in the wilderness for a night with a campfire and our little tent and our little sleeping bags, and then scurry back to our vans in the morning to, I don't know, go potty and shout, whatever, right? Those kind of things I'm just dying to do. I just can't figure it out all on my own. So, all right, let's say thank you. I've gone on long enough. So many thanks to each and every one of you for joining us tonight. Big crowd in here tonight. Got another big show planned next week. 2 videos dropping. I've got a ton of videos dropping. The Storyteller versus Rebel as a value proposition, dollar-wise, is going to piss off some people. I apologize, but it is what it is from my vantage point, seeing what I saw. Now, have I stayed in a Rebel? I haven't. But there you go. All right. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it. Peace be with you and journey on. And we will see you next week. Thanks for being here. Really do appreciate each and every one of you so much. You have no idea what you mean to me. Serious as a heart attack. To your health.